Hey everybody, welcome to Sunday School and Sunday Space. You might be wondering why we have these stylish coats on. Buddy, are you wondering? I think Buddy's wondering too. Well, that's because, as you know, we just finished and wrapped up our series on the armor of God. And so we are starting our new one, which is Joseph. And as you'll learn today, Joseph was given a very special coat by his father. So that's what we're doing. We're wearing our special coats. So anyway, I hope you guys are ready, and let's start with Niall kicking us off with worship.
Now, as Eva said, we're going to learn about a new character in the Bible called Joseph. Now, it's maybe not the Joseph that you're thinking of. It's not Joseph that was married to Mary. This Joseph appeared a long, long time before we meet Jesus' dad. In fact, we have to go right back to the very first book of the Bible, which is called, do you know? Yes, it's Genesis. And in chapter 37, you can start to read all about Joseph. But even better idea, here's a video that you can watch, and let me know what you think.
God's story, Joseph. So part of God's story is about a guy named Joseph, and it begins like this. Once there was a guy named Joseph who had 10 older brothers and one younger one. When Joe was a boy, he was his dad's favorite. In fact, his dad liked him so much better than his brothers that he gave Joe a special gift to prove it. You can imagine this made his brothers jealous. And Joe only made things worse. He told his brothers about dreams he had where he was ruling over them. Well, this made Joe's brothers furious. One day they were working and saw Joe coming. They said, "Here comes that dreamer." They threw Joe into a dark pit. They might have left him there forever, But they met some men traveling from Egypt and sold Joe to them as a servant instead. They thought that was slightly nicer than leaving him in a pit. Then they went home and told their father Joe had been killed by a wild animal. This broke their dad's heart. Kids, these brothers were really bad news. Selling a sibling is never a good idea. Ever. But the Bible says the Lord was with Joe. When Joe was a servant, he worked for a really important rich guy named Potiphar.
Okay, so we're going to pause the video right there, and I hope you enjoyed it. There are lots of things in there that you can talk about now with your family and your friends, and lots of things to think about before next week. And next week, please tune back in again, because we're going to have a video that's going to show us all about Potiphar's house and the other things that have happened to Joseph. Alright, so hopefully see you then. Bye.
Okay guys, so before we get into this week's memory verse, I've got a challenge for you. And can anybody remember the memory verse from last month? So if anybody can remember that memory verse, get a video of yourself, get somebody to take a video of you and send it in to Ava, and there'll be a prize, guys. Let's see if you can remember last month's verse then. So on to this month. This is our memory verse for this month. We've been learning about Joseph and his dreams. So I want to introduce you guys to our memory verse for this month. It is, "Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God goes with you." That's, be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God goes with you. Joseph knew that, and I hope you guys are going to know that too in all you do. So this is from Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. Let's do it all together once again. "Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God goes with you." Deuteronomy 31 verse 6.
What do you guys think about the story of Joseph? Isn't it amazing how the Lord had given him a gift of being able to have a dream and then to interpret it, to be able to understand what it meant? I think that's amazing. Of course, perhaps Joseph should have been a little bit more humble and not bragged about it to his family. Definitely didn't go down well. And of course, you know, his brothers shouldn't have thrown him into a pit and then sold him. Ugh. So what do you think will happen to Joseph? Well, the next couple weeks, we're going to be following Joseph on his adventures. As Allison says, this whole story is found in the book of Genesis. And so we're going to be journeying alongside and discovering what happens. But in the very end of that video, it talks about how God was with Joseph. And I think that's so important. Even though Joseph was sold into slavery, his brothers were not a fan, God was with him. And you know, God is with us right now. Even though we look ridiculous in these coats, God is with us. No matter what's going on in our life, God is with us. And that's so great and so comforting. So we're going to see what happens next week with Joseph as he is a slave in Potiphar's house. So we'll see you guys then. See you next week.